Mm-hmm.
Let me be your nerd. Let me be your nerd now. I'm saying, baby, 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 baby.
What the hell was that?
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome, everybody, to the Grizzled Geek Podcast, episode 41. Are you setting the your Nintendo out for your animals? Is that what you're just doing?
Charging my Nintendo, and it was at 9%. You know.
Oh, it looked like you were sitting down for your dogs. I'm like, oh, here, play some Animal Crossing while I'm
here. Yeah,
on
shut
the
up.
podcast.
Shut up and play. I've got things to do.
How's it going, guys?
Not too bad.
Yeah, going
My
good. How
camera
about you?
here.
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
There you go.
Looks like my vacation is coming to an end. Looks like I'm going to be going back to work on the 8th. I got another week of not working, so I got to enjoy it.
Is it going to be in office or working from home?
I do not know yet. So we'll see. Yeah, they want me to do some training. So if I'm training people, I don't know whether that's going to be in a classroom or whether it's going to be online or what that entails.
You can easily on Zoom, right?
Right. Yeah. I'm hoping it's from home. Although, because being in a classroom, being in an office is one thing, and the classroom's another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of people breathing on you.
For sure. Getting close.
Exactly. All right, guys. So, that's me. It's coming to an end, going back to work, rejoining society. What about you guys? What have you been up to?
Mass Effect 1.
Rolled all the way back around to Mass Effect 1?
Well, I broke down and said, all right, I'm going to play it no matter how bad the gameplay is.
It's so good, though. It really isn't that bad. I mean,
the
it's pretty
great,
bad,
but the gameplay is... Mike and I were just talking before we went live, is your companions are so bad. They just stand out in the open and get killed right away. You're like, all right, I'm going to solo this fight, I guess.
Yeah, I forget who I took. I took people that did damage and just attack because I couldn't rely on anyone that... I just couldn't rely on anyone.
Yeah.
I fucking love, but also hate the driving around in the car anywhere.
It is kind of annoying.
Such a pain.
But hey.
Hey, Corbin's in the chat. Hey, Corbin, how's it going? The comic book barbarian. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
He's showing up for the facts. He's he's trying not to be a junior fact checker for the Absolute Geek Podcast, so coming to us to learn.
All right. I have to complain real quick because every day I've been refreshing the community page for Warhammer because they said on Sunday that pre-orders were going to be coming this week. It's Friday. No pre-orders. No announcements on pre-orders. And I'm like, come on, give me my elves. They got to be coming soon.
I got to order toys. Yeah, I'm telling you.
So I'm kind of frustrated on that front.
Well, why don't we? We've got some questions here, real quick. Not a whole lot, but we found I've realized. Wow, I haven't checked the mails or my or people that on Twitter. I haven't checked Twitter, like people messaging me. So I've gotten some messages here, so I figured we take this time to answer some fan questions that have come in that I may have missed. Some of these might be a couple weeks old, but all right. So if we can knock these out real quick here, Marca Chris, somebody's name Marcacris, Marca Chris, I think is what it looks like. They want to know when will we see some more Weeb? Please check out Stars Align. So,
I've not heard of that.
You've heard? No. Okay,
no.
So
I'm super behind on anything that's not like people are obsessing over.
Got it.
really looked in to see what's out and popular right now.
Stars align. So to answer the question, we did film an episode of Weeb for Violet Evergarden.
Yep.
Which is on Patreon right now.
All
Is
right.
it?
I looked up Stars Align. It is a drama sports manga. It's a slice of life, like kid transfers to a new school and is asked to join the tennis team. I'm like, sorry, dude. Probably not gonna watch this.
The sports ones aren't that bad, honestly. Some of them are actually really cute.
So yeah,
there's not like demons and monsters and superpowers. I'm not super
or tentacles when we're not really. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Stars Align. I didn't look it up though. But to answer your question, we did film an episode of Weeb. Unfortunately, it was Violet Evergarden. It's on Patreon, but I've not got a version of it for YouTube yet. The first two versions of it were blocked. And unfortunately, it's a process because you have to edit it, then you have render it, and then you upload it, and then find out whether it's blocked or not. And then if it is, then you got to go back to the drawing board and re-edit it, after the parts that are blocked, and then new parts get blocked each time, right? So it tells you what area is blocked, and then and then right now I need to go in and try to add a filter to it, I guess, to the parts. But again, that's a process of going back in and doing that. So, but we will film some more here soon. Maybe one that's not I don't know whether was Violet Evergarden, is that a Netflix original or is it a
no. It was out for a little bit, and then they put it on Netflix recently, so it's been around for 2 years, I think. That's what I read.
Got it. Okay. Well, yeah. To answer your question, basically, we're working on it. So
we're trying. Boy,
Yep.
are we trying.
The next question, I guess it wasn't really a question, a statement. Rachel Kiss has said the best part about the podcast are the thumbnails, which I'm going to take that. That could be taken many ways. But, I'm going to take that as a compliment and say thank you very much.
Check out today's pencil neck Superman.
That's right. With the super ultra realistic CGI mustache removal. All right. So the next one comes from Mortisan, I guess. I don't know what it is. Sorry, I'm butchering your names here. Where are we with reactions? Miss your Ruby stuff. So yeah, we do too.
There's no Ruby stuff to react to, really. So,
true, but we have. I mean,
I guess technically there's probably Weeb out there. Weeb. Chibi.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although Shane doesn't like that for some reason.
Well,
yeah.
What to do without him?
Yeah.
Do without you.
I like them.
I enjoy the Chibi.
Yeah. Glad to get back to some of that here. And this next one's kind of along the lines. This one is LASIK Eyes for You Blue. Wants to know, where is Shane? Why is he not on a podcast? Sorry, I can't check it out live. So,
Shane never really wanted to be on the podcast, for one. And two, he works a lot.
True. He
a
does.
lot.
In fact, he's at work. I think he's at work right now. So yeah, he's he works weird hours. Plus, he's basically he's in it for Ruby, and that's pretty much it. In fact, if it wasn't for Ruby, he wouldn't be on camera. So
That's true.
he's one of those guys you can't even really get a picture of.
Yeah, he'll shout things at us when we're filming in person.
I think he likes it that way. He likes to put in his 2 cents on
right, but doesn't necessarily want to be on camera for it.
Yeah.
Right. So, the podcast, he was never really part of the podcast, just because not that he can't be if he wants to be, but that's the way Shane rolls. Ruby or nothing. In fact, like I said, he doesn't even really like anything other than basic Ruby and the music videos.
Yeah, and if you think I'm grumpy about stuff, he'd be grumping about every story we read.
Yeah, he'd be like,
"That's stupid." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, so Doug kind of fills that role. So, there you have it. All right. Well, I want to take a little bit of time to answer some fan questions that I found. Please send them my way. I'll be try and check them more often. There's so many places we get them in that I forget to check all of them on a regular basis. But yeah, so sorry.
I don't think that we have that listed anywhere. Where can they send questions?
They can send questions to
put them in the comments of YouTube videos.
Yeah. Comments are usually
are the best one. Yeah, because we check those out. On Twitter, you can send us, which is somewhere some of these came from. Direct message on Twitter. We have our emails on the main site.
Mike's saying his DMs are open.
My DMs are open.
Be sure to slide on in.
That's right. Slide on in my DMs. Only for the fans. All right, so sorry about that. If we nice. All right, sorry if we took a week or so to answer your question, but hey, I just found him. That's right. It goes down in the DMs, as Corbin. That's right. All right, guys, let's move on to our main story. We mentioned last week the Snyder Cut is real. It's happening. Although we got a bunch of information this week about the Snyder Cut. So let's jump into this real quick.
Wait. I gotta make a snarky comment first.
Sure.
Our main story is DC is still super screwed up.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much like all of our main stories it's DC news. It's Snyder Cut, other DC news, and even even more DC news is there are 3 stories. But yeah, and DC is still not, going in. I don't know if maybe they're going in a direction now. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. They're doing some things that seem good, some things that are dumb, and then
they put everything they can think of on a board, and they don't throw darts at it. They shoot it with a shotgun, and then just piece the pieces together and hope it makes sense.
Yeah, hopefully this will all turn out into a successful.
Hopefully
universe.
This gives us Marvel money.
Yeah.
All right, you doing the Snyder Cut?
Yeah, I'll do it. All right, so apparently the Snyder Cut was in the works for a long time, but legal issues held it up. So it wasn't something that they just decided to do recently. Apparently they were, as early
what
as
kind of legal issues?
Because it's
they have he's there,
right?
He's interested. It's their property. It's not like it was pushed out to another studio. What possible legal issues could they be here?
Well, maybe it has something to do with money, right? Maybe Snyder's like, well, if this does better than yours does, then I should get a bigger portion of how things go.
All right.
Part of it is that is Josh Whedon coming in, and because his name on it is because of the Guild. If they released a theatrical version of it, he would have to be compensated as well, right? And so they had to have a platform to put it out on. That's why it's coming out as an HBO Max series or movie or whatever. So it's a different platform. They're changing the story enough that it meets Guild requirements, basically, to not have to pay, because they only have so much money, right? Exactly. Like, we're not going to pay Josh Whedon anything. I mean, to be honest with you, Josh Whedon's a big paycheck right there.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's part of the reasons why they're not having the original cast back for, because the cost
or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where the cost is, really. I mean, special effects money is expensive, but when you bring in A-list actors in, the film, apparently them coming in for ADR is a lot cheaper than, putting them in costume. You put them in costume and they're actually on the screen filming new scenes because it's all, it's all unionized out there. There's rules, right? So you're in costume, you're on set filming, then it falls in a different category.
Right.
So, and then there's different things. You have to have different licenses, different, insurances and everything else. But yeah, I'm not that I'm an expert on movie making, but that's what some of it makes sense. But Snyder has been working on editing and plot before the official green light. So before they got the official word on it, he's been tinkering with it, kind of like I don't know, off the books kind of thing. So piecing together the story he wants to tell, and apparently the story's this is not necessarily the one that we would have saw originally if Zack Snyder finished the film, but they're piecing together something special, whatever they need to do, extra scenes they need to add to tell the story. So I'm not exactly sure. It's going to be a lot different than what we what we were originally going to get, or what we got. And now they mentioned a price tag last week of $30 million to finish the project. But apparently that cost is going to be significantly higher than $30 million. HBO Max content chief Kevin Riley gave an interview basically, and was talking about the process and what held it up and what's all involved. And basically, when asked about the budget, he said he lamented that I wish it was just $30 million, and said there was going to be a significant amount of money, although he wouldn't say exactly what it would cost. So, but yeah, so we don't know what it is, but it's going to be significantly more than $30 million. See here, Snyder also teased that the original, more monstrous version of Steppenwolf was going to be the Steppenwolf we see in the film. I think it's a lot of people don't realize how much of this movie changed after Snyder's stepped away, right? Mm-hmm. So he turned in a 4-hour cut of the movie, and then he edited it down to a 3-hour cut of the movie, and then tragedy struck, and he had to step away. And they brought in Josh Whedon to finish it, but then Warner Brothers demanded that it had to have a runtime of under 2 hours or whatever it was.
Right.
Something ridiculous. Cut this all down, build this whole universe up, and then cut it down to this much time, and then make it fun. So they get all these notes, right? So they came in and reshot a significant portion of that movie. So changing the storyline, changing a whole bunch of stuff, cutting a whole bunch of stuff out. Like all of Flash's backstory stuff was cut out. All of Cyborg's backstory stuff was cut out. So quite a bit of it was cut out. And of course, obviously, Darkseid. It was supposed to set up. Steppenwolf was supposed to be like the first. He wasn't supposed to be the main bad guy. He was supposed to be like the first bad guy, setting up for a showdown with Darkseid, basically at the end. So I don't know how much of that we're going to get in it, but I don't know. I mean, what do you think of this idea of this so far, Doug? I mean, are you any more excited hearing this information, or?
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see it. Based on the last two lines of what you wrote in the script, I'm less interested than I could be. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean. See, I like the idea. Again, this has been Warner Brothers' problem all along. Is let's skip to the end. You should hold back Darkseid, although you're gonna just come across as going for the Thanos.
Yeah,
the Thanos level bad guy.
Yeah,
which could be frustrating for DC fans because Thanos is largely based on Darkseid.
Yeah.
So,
he's
not the other way around. But
Darkseid was first.
Yeah, so that's frustrating. But I'd still like to see the build up towards him. But that's apparently never going to happen.
Yeah, no. And what's weird is this is not going to be. The sad part is this is going to be a one and done, right? Yeah. So the news came out that this is going to be a standalone film. There's no plans for a sequel or spin-offs or anything else. Well, yeah, depending if it's a massive hit, we'll see what happens. But that they don't have any plans for that. This is not part of. I don't even know what you would call this. It'd be like an adjacent universe movie or whatever, or what could have been Elseworlds,
like AU or something.
Well, it doesn't matter at this point. You can just call it as a remastering the capstone of the original DC universe, because now all the stuff you see in this, it's no more.
Yeah.
No more Ben Affleck as Batman. No more. Well, I guess maybe more of Henry Cavill as Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens there. Unknown Reaper in the comments said, just leave it dead. Yeah, I mean that's it. Is as much as I don't know, as much as that movie didn't work, the parts that did work for me was definitely not the Snyder parts of it. Right? It was the the non emo Superman where he's actually by the end of it he was actually the Superman we wanted. I have a feeling, I don't know how making it darker or more Zack Snyder-ish will fix it.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see Darkseid.
wonder if they are putting this out as means to be like in support of Wheaton, right? To be like, look, we know you weren't our first pick, but you did well, and if things go so well with the Snyder Cut, maybe they can get the actors back on board for something. But in order to show support to Wheaton and what he did, they've got to be like, nah, we don't have any plans.
Yeah, well, maybe that might be, but I don't. Here's the thing: they're not getting Ben Affleck back as Batman, right?
You don't think so?
No, he's done with Batman. He's pretty much said, well, I don't know what they would do to try to convince him otherwise.
Well, I think depending on how popular the Snyder Cut goes,
right?
They could maybe offer him a decent sum to come back.
True, but depending on how bad they want to screw up the universe, because there's some more. Yeah. When do we get to some of the further stories down here? What they're thinking about doing? So, but the last little bit on this, I'll say, is they are getting Henry Cavill back to Superman, right?
Yep.
But he's not going to film any new scenes for the film, and neither is any of the other primary actors.
Yep.
So anything other than ADR, and again, I think that's more of a budget issue. So we'll see.
Yep.
I don't know. It sounds to me almost like they're doing, like, if they're changing a story that drastically, then even what Snyder wanted originally, it sounds like they're just kind of like dumping out a bucket full of movie pieces, and he's trying to jigsaw a movie together with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's basically what the cut is, right?
Yeah.
Just trying to fill in any pieces that he can that was supposed to be the movie he wanted it to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he had 4 hours worth of a movie to work with.
Yeah, he had four. His original cut was 4 hours, so he's got plenty
with something, I'm sure.
Plenty of footage there. Yeah. And Matt, at Absolute Geek Podcast says Snyder said no new footage was going to be shot with the actors, and that is correct. Yeah. No new footage, but the possibility of ADR was still open there. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
All right, Doug, you want to hit us other DC news?
Yeah, let's keep going on the DC runaway train. Such a car wreck. All right, so along those lines, Henry Cavill will also not return for Man of Steel movie like was reported. Instead, they're kind of floating the idea that he will be to the DC films what the Hulk or Nick Fury is to probably more Nick Fury, based on that, what they're saying, where he shows up as maybe a plot motivator in other movies, or just as a cameo, maybe to give a piece of information or point people towards something. I'm busy saving the world over here. Go do this. Right. I don't know.
Right.
There's still a Justice League, but we need to help us with this.
They mentioned the Hulk because they said he could show up as like a buddy, kind of co-star in a movie with somebody. Mostly going to be cameos, sounds like it, but
I don't know. I mean, other than A World's Finest, who do you have Superman co-star with?
I don't know. And without Batman, without Affleck,
because once you put Superman in a movie, if it's not with Batman, he's not the co-star anymore. He's the star, and the other guy's his buddy.
The other guy's the sidekick. Yeah,
the other guy's the sidekick, regardless of the amount of screen time.
Yeah,
but I guess we'll see what happens. But all right, so there's that. There's, how do you say the dude's name? Ayer. The Ayer cut gets some traction as new Suicide Squad director James Gunn throws in his support. Ayer says his would be much easier to do as it was all shot and the movie was just butchered in the editing room, butchered in quotes. Original film had a much different opening without so much explosion, a main Joker subplot, you just lost me, and a much different ending with a sorceress controlled katana. With everything that was just said in that statement, I have zero interest in this. If you
I don't
tell me
know.
that the way you're going to fix Suicide Squad is more Jared Leto Joker, nope, it's not going to fix it.
Well, I mean, that was supposed to be a whole like side plot of the Joker, which
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe where they said a lot of it that he got a the raw deal because they cut out all his good stuff and he just kind of came across as weird in the movie. I mean, I don't know how much more of that character will fix that character,
Right.
but I am interested in a different ending. Which was the worst
Makes
part
you
about that
curious
movie.
at the very least. Like, I
Yeah.
know that he threw a big fit about how terribly it was done. So I'm curious to see what he did that would have made that much better,
Right, exactly. I mean, it's one of those like I almost wanted, let's see it. Let's see the better version. But his movie did get, he says butchered here in the editing room. He had a movie, and then this production company produced a trailer that wasn't what the movie was, but everybody liked the trailer. So Warner Brothers is all like, "Well, make the movie like that trailer," and so he had to like recut that movie pretty badly.
Here's what I'm afraid of: is 2/3 of that movie was really good,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just dropped the ball at the end.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I liked Suicide Squad up until pretty much the end. The last maybe 25% to a third of the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Here's
the end
actually
sucked.
I'm going to answer Matt in the the chat here. He says, "Well, first off, he made a comment saying that Superman's going to show up in a Jimmy Olsen movie." I saw you avoid doing a Man of Steel movie. It's a Jimmy Olsen movie with Superman in it. But he says, unless they give us a different villain, it won't matter. But what they were saying here is that it looked like Katana, which is going to have a much bigger part in the movie, would be part of the bad. Would be like sorcerer's controlled Katana would like turn on him, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Collecting souls in her sword. I mean, I think I don't know. I would like to see more Katana in it.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether adding her as one of the bad guys at the end is going to fix that movie. I don't know what would fix that movie. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like it would cost. I mean, definitely wouldn't cost as much as a Snyder cut of Justice League would do. If he's already got everything filmed, everything set, it's just a matter of, like I said, he had the movie, and they made him like cut it up to fix it to make it look like the trailer. So match the trailer more. So
all right, one more bit here on this section of DC news. HBO Max content chief Kevin Riley said Titans will remain on DC Universe for the time being, and only Doom Patrol will join the network. He also talked about the Green Lantern series, saying it will be a significant step up in production from the CW series. He also confirmed J.J. Abrams has, in fact, pitched a Justice League Dark series for HBO Max, and that they are close to an announcement.
Isn't that kind of an announcement right there?
Kind of. I think by an announcement, they mean you'll get details like who's going to be in it. And stuff.
Right, yeah. First off, I want to say, what a weird title that is, HBO Max content chief.
Yeah.
Like, I would like, hey, I am HBO Max's content Grand Poobah.
Right.
I mean, this doesn't sound like a real. I'm content chief, not content manager, content just content chief.
Well, it's like chief executive officer, chief financial officer, except it's reversed.
It's just reversed. Sounds weird. All right.
A lot of places it is chief content officer or chief content manager or something like that.
Right. That sounds better.
All right. I'm not going to get another streaming service, so I'll have to, I don't know, watch them at other people's houses.
Well,
I am pretty excited about Justice League Dark. I want to see a show that's got like Zatanna, Deadman, Etrigan, I would assume. Not sure who else you would put other than those three.
Constantine.
Oh yeah, Constantine. Yeah.
Wasn't Swamp Thing in Justice League Dark? The question.
I don't think so. I don't know.
But I mean, I'm excited about that. I'm kind of excited about the Green Lantern, although doesn't it seem like he's kind of like throwing a little shade there at the CW?
Right, yeah. It's
He's
a
like,
significant step up.
Well, I think you've got to say that because most of the CW shows have chosen heroes that can be relatively effects light.
yeah.
So, so you kind of have to make a statement about, yeah, it's not going to be that level. It's going to,
Yeah, because you can't do an effects light Green Lantern. That's pretty much, he is all effects. So,
all right. So in the comics, it was John Constantine, Madame Xanadu, Deadman, Shade the Changing Man, and Zatanna.
Zatanna.
Yeah,
Nice.
I knew you'd have to be Zatanna. So,
yeah,
Etrigan was not in it apparently. Well, at least not in the original lineup.
Right. Well, I don't see a live action Zatanna. I'm excited. But
just the fact that they're going to include Deadman, that's freaking cool.
yeah, we'll hope. We don't know. Like I said, we haven't got the announcement yet. This was just because it was rumored that J.J. Abrams was pitching to Justice League Dark, and that was kind of like that's a wild rumor, like that'll ever happen. And then now the guy's saying that, confirming the fact that yes, he did pitch it, and they're close to an announcement. Sounds like, this is something that's going to happen.
Next week they're going to go, yeah, he pitched it. We didn't really like it.
And we didn't really like it, so we're not doing that.
We're not doing
that's
it.
the official announcement.
That's our official announcement. I'm like, damn you.
Like, oh my goodness. All right, Kirsten, we have even more DC news. You want to hit that up?
Yeah, so despite being a bomb at the box office, Warner Brothers is planning on making another outing for Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn, which I'm kind of excited about it. I don't think I saw your guys' reaction on Birds of Prey, but I really enjoyed that. So,
I haven't seen Birds of Prey. I'm actually
okay.
got zero interest in seeing it because the trailer was so bad.
I don't think you would enjoy it, but I liked it.
I would like it a ton more if they were actually in their comic book costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would make a huge amount of difference because then I could tell who was who.
Sure.
And actually buy into them. It sounds like what they did with Montoya wasn't cool. But she's a pretty cool character.
Well, they made every guy. If you're a man, if you had a Y chromosome in that movie, you were an idiot or a jerk, pretty much. Like including all the cops in Gotham City, literally every man in that movie was. I mean, I'm not saying that's fine.
Right.
I
think that was
fine
kind
with
of
it.
the narrative, though. Like that, the whole story was about how Harley Quinn is gonna, defeat the patriarchy sort of situation. So I get it.
By the way, Doug Matt stands by you. He says, "Stay strong." What do you say? Good for you, Doug. Keep it that way. Keep it from seeing that movie. He supports you not seeing that.
Yeah.
But apparently, like I said,
that's the problem. I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's why I liked it so much. It's just seeing more of her playing that role. It was just enjoyable to see her do more of it. So
yeah.
I'll watch more just because I like her.
Yeah.
So.
Well, luckily we have her somewhere else.
Yes, true.
And this is in large part due to what the studio has seen of James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
So James Gunn, so her next appearance is in James Gunn's Suicide Squad, and so based on what's
awesome,
and apparently it's good because they're like, well, they're thinking about, despite they just had a box office bomb, they're still thinking about greenlighting another movie just based on this movie.
Right.
So that's depending on whose opinion it is.
Oh, okay. So this is separate, but while there's no decision that's been made, the studio leaning toward a Gotham City Sirens movie. Is leaning towards a Gotham City Sirens movie.
Yeah, instead of a solo Harley Quinn movie. Yeah.
The studio also wants to use Batman's Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. This would break continuity as Batman was supposed to be a different universe and Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn is the Ben Affleck's Batman universe.
Yeah. So apparently they basically they're going, studio execs are going like, well, what we've seen so far is we really like Zoe Kravitz in the Batman, and we really like Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad. So let's put them together in a Gotham City Sirens, but those are supposed to be two separate universe movies, right? Because that's the Batman is his basically like year one, right? That's his young Batman.
Right.
So they're going totally new Batman. Margot Robbie's already been established as with the older Bruce Wayne, Ben Affleck Batman. So if you put them together in the same movie, doesn't that? I mean, I don't know.
I feel like because Ben Affleck has confirmed that he's not coming back, they're kind of trying to pull whatever they can together, make something good out of it.
Yeah, I know that they weren't trying to keep like the hardcore continuity like they were before, but I mean, this just seems, I don't know. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure Zoe Kravitz is great as Catwoman, but I mean, and a Gotham City Sirens would be good. But really, I mean, they should just go the route of, just like the animated series and add Poison Ivy in there. Just like a buddy cop, film, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn movie, right? Because that's the relationship that's so awesome in the cartoon.
Yeah.
So and just leave Catwoman out of it.
That.
Yeah.
They need to stop making villain movies. That's what they need to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I would go see, Margot Robbie, Harley Quinn, and Poison Ivy movie.
Yeah. Same.
Just based on that cartoon. I mean, obviously they won't be as comedy as the cartoon, but it's the cartoon is awesome. So I don't know. What do you think of this whole mixing of the universes?
I don't.
That's it.
He's broken.
Warner Brothers is broken. They can't get their head. They can't decide what direction to go.
Yeah. And
they've got nobody to make decisions.
Yeah.
So there's nobody there who can put their foot down and say, no, we need to stop just following the flavor of the month.
Yeah.
Whatever seems to be doing now, and let's put a plan in place.
Yeah. So Matt's a couple comments. Just reboot it for the love of God and for only perverted reasons. I'm like, yes, absolutely. I want to see the Poison Ivy Harley Quinn movie I have in my head, but that's not going to happen. That's something.
Oh, I'm sure that's happened, just not.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
that you want it to be.
Exactly. That's right. I got my own Harley Quinn Poison Ivy movie going on. I don't need it on the screen, but it's only going to pale in comparison. I can guarantee it. But I don't know. This whole Catwoman thing, I'm like, and again, this may not happen. This is just they haven't decided whether they're doing the solo movie, whether they're going to try and more likely they're not going to go Birds of Prey route, although that's on the table, right? Seeing how
Birds
it
of
failed.
Prey or Gotham City Sirens? What do you mean?
Well, they're trying to decide what to do, right? And on the table, they have the option of going a solo movie, doing a sequel to Birds of Prey, or doing a Gotham City Sirens or something else, right? So they're probably not going to do Birds of Prey because that failed. And there's studio thinking like, oh no, that's not going to work. We need to go with what's going to work, and mixing these universes. That's what's going to work. Oh, it's WB. It's probably happening. He said, "Yeah, who knows? Yeah, Birds of Prey 2.
They'll do all three.
They'll do all three.
They'll have a different person playing Poison Ivy in each of them.
I wouldn't surprise me with some of these decisions here. I'm like,
yeah, no, they are. Oh God, they're ruining some of the best characters out there.
Batman Beyond is the only thing they should be doing. I agree. I agree with the whole reboot it for the love of God.
Oh, that was going to be my statement on where you could put Affleck in there. You bring Affleck back as old man Bruce Wayne training a protege.
Yeah. I don't know. I had a dream of back before all this DCFU nonsense of a Batman Beyond movie with Michael Keaton coming back as old man Bruce Wayne.
That'd be cool.
it's a pipe dream. It's not going to happen. But it's just like before all this craziness happened, I'm like, wouldn't it be amazing to have a Batman movie with Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne again? That would be awesome. Yeah, Affleck over Michael Keaton. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, they probably won't get Michael Keaton, but they probably won't get either one of them. Neither one of them are going to do Batman again.
Yeah.
Unless they, I don't know. Who knows what's going on with them?
And as far as I'm concerned, leave Michael Keaton in the MCU.
You mean
and apparently the Sony friggin'
the Spunk?
The Spunk.
leave Michael Keaton in the Spunk.
No,
nice.
leave him in the MCU. Don't put him in the
DCFU, the Spunk, and the MCU. Even the abbreviations sound better at Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm like, man. All right. Well, damn, just a lot of craziness DC stuff you get excited about, stuff to be like about, and stuff that's going, oh my God, what are you doing?
And once again, as for a lot of the places, it's the TV stuff that's most interesting.
Right. And then, the other TV stuff kind of, shitting on them like, oh yeah, our production's going to be way better than that low rent Berlantiverse stuff. I don't know. I was always a big Marvel fan, obviously, clearly, but I like DC stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I want to see DC stuff done right because I care about some of these characters. And it just sucks that they have, good movies mixed in with mediocre movies mixed in with a whole bunch of bad movies, right? And they're all trying to deliver one universe that they didn't have the patience to build, and now they're just kind of like it's like a crumbling building. They're trying to keep patching it, right?
Right.
Yeah. I'm like, I think I agree with Matt here. Just let it all fall and start over. Even though I like some of these characters as the characters, sometimes you just got to punt, right?
Yeah.
DC should take a page from their animated universe, Corbin says. I agree. That's the one thing DC is getting right is the animated.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, the Berlanti for TV stuff and the animated. For the most part of the TV stuff. TV stuff's kind of like hit or miss. There's a lot of it's really good. Then you have Batwoman. Mix of all that, so we'll see. So anyway, that does it for our main stories. Sadly, they're all DC stuff, and sadly, none of them are, none of it's like super great news. But we got Nerd Nuggets coming up here.
Nerd Nuggets.
Nerd Nuggets. So our smaller stories. So Matt says a lot of the animated stuff has sucked as of late. I haven't checked out some of the later stuff. Man, I haven't actually checked out DC animated movies for a while there, even though I have DC Universe. I haven't been keeping up. I think Red Sun was the last one I saw. But anyway. All right. Moving on to our smaller stories, our Geek Bites, our Nerd Nuggets. First off, the Spunk. Yes, that's the official title for the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters. That's what they decided to call it, the Spunk. Just announced that Mark Guggenheim's Jackpot will join Madame Web, Venom, and Morbius as a new movie. What about now, Doug? Jackpot? Does that sweeten the deal?
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah. Apparently, they've been trying to get this, off the ground for a while. Ever since the Silver Sable, Black Cat movie fell apart, they're doing a Jackpot movie.
Apparently, it's a female superhero that I've never heard of.
Yep.
She doesn't even look familiar.
Yeah, I've seen her picture of her. I don't know who she is.
No idea who that is.
Yeah.
You said
awesome.
female?
What about yeah?
Some pictures of some males coming up.
No, she's female. And then
type in Jackpot Marvel.
I was looking at Morbius.
All right, Matt Corbin, you need to comment, guys, in the who's Jackpot, and are you guys excited about a movie? movie version. How very Sony of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If the Marvel universe could take B-level characters and make something like the MCU, maybe we could take D-level heroes and do the same.
Yeah. Matt says no. So they don't even know who. These are the guys that read comics. So yeah, they're just pulling out another. They decided to skip over Silver Sable and Black Cat, people known
Just
properties.
Paste Pot Pete freaking movie.
Is he a Spider-Man villain? Do they have the rights to him? Because
I think so. Yeah, I think he was originally a Spider-Man villain.
I think he could save the Spunko or the Spunk.
Fool killer. Let's do a fool killer.
Fool killer. I don't know. I think if anyone could save Spunk, it's Space Pod Pete. I'd be like, all right, I'm down. I'll go watch Mobius and Carnage and all this stuff. I'll even watch Madame Web if I get a Pace Pod Pete out of it. Mm-hmm. But no, they can't have him because he's going to be in the Thunderbolts.
So look at that. Sony has announced 3 movies that I will totally not see. 3 superhero movies that I'm just like, no, I don't. No. I won't. I'm not even interested in going to review them. I'll do a review without seeing them. It sucked.
It sucked.
Spunk.
Yes. Spider-Man. Yeah, and it's just weird. The whole Spunk, the Sony Pictures Universe of Marvel characters, is that weird quasi Twilight Zone area that the Marvel universe exists in, but it doesn't exist in the Marvel universe. So in the Spunk,
we have the rights to 2 cool characters and all of this other crap.
2 cool characters and
Let's
a
see what we can dig out of here.
ton of shit. So yeah, exactly. It's basically everything that happens in the Marvel universe happens in Spunk, but Marvel doesn't have to acknowledge anything that happens in the Spunk. So basically, they can use Tom Hardy's Spider-Man for cameos or whatever, but and they basically have to acknowledge stuff that happened, like the snap and stuff like that happened in the regular Marvel universe, but they don't have to. But Marvel doesn't have to, acknowledge that Venom exists or that Jackpot exists or Madame Web. Yeah. You should honestly build around Spider-Man and leave it at that. What Sony should do, and I think we mentioned this before, is just give up on Peter Parker. Let Marvel have Peter Parker, right? Why are we not? Spider-Man. Yeah. Why?
You've got
Miles Morales.
You got Gwen Stacy.
You got Gwen Stacy. You got
Silk is. I don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, you've got all the other Spider-Verse characters here. You've got a Spider-Man. Build it around Miles Morales. Make him your anchor for your Spider-Verse, right? Yeah. And granted, it's not going to fit in with the comics the way but these don't fit in the comics anyway, right? You've already got Venom without
without the Spider-Man origin,
right? Why does he look like Spider-Man? We hasn't even met him yet, but yeah. So you've already messed up that, but you have a great character. Build your universe around Miles Morales. Let Marvel have Peter Parker, right? You have a great character. Build movies around that. Build a universe around him. Let the other crap go, right? I mean, get your Marvel money. Marvel's making you money. Every 3 years you get another Spider-Man movie out there to get collect your Marvel money and then make Miles Morales movies, or with Gwen Stacy. I don't get it. I don't understand what this. I don't know. We're gonna Morbius movie and Madame Web. It just seems like the dumbest thing ever. I guess you just got this so many characters. They just like have them all up on a wall and throwing darts at them. All right, we're gonna make a movie out of that character.
Right.
I don't know. Doesn't make Yeah, be creative with the property. Exactly. I mean, you don't have to follow. It's like, oh well, you can't have Miles Morales because of this and that. I'm like, well, it's not following a comic anyway. Rebuild it for your movie universe. Anyway, sorry, I get off on making fun of Sony and their Spunk All right, Doug. What's up next?
Kate Blanchett is close to signing on to play Lilith in Eli Roth's Borderlands movie. She is one of the main protagonists in the video game series.
Sony's like that family member that only comes around the MCU when they need money. Yeah, that's true. Borderlands. First off, this is weird. One, Borderlands is an awesome game, but Eli Roth doing it is weird. One, and then getting Kate Blanchett to play Lilith is another
Interesting choice.
Yeah, she's like, yeah.
I don't know anything about Borderlands, so
yeah, it seems. Yeah, I don't know what's weirder, that she's playing, Lilith, one of the Sirens, or whether Eli Roth is directing it is weirder.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What else has Eli Roth done?
He's.
I mean, I've heard the name, but I don't know the genre of his normal movie.
Inglorious Bastards, Cabin Fever.
Yeah, well, he was in Inglourious Bastards, but
I see.
he did, like, he's known for, like, he's the torture porn guy, right? Like Hostel and Green Inferno, the cannibal movie. He's known for gross horror stuff.
Yeah.
And then he's an actor, and he's a pretty good actor, but it just seems weird that he's directing Borderlands. I mean, Borderlands is pretty wild as far as a video game goes. Isn't it one of those things, like, I can't get excited about? Was that?
It's comical, though. Like,
it is funny.
Of it is supposed to be ridiculous and funny. So I don't know.
I agree with Matt. Matt just made a statement here. The fact they went Borderlands before BioShock blows my mind, and I fully agree with that.
For sure, yeah.
The fact there's not a BioShock movie in the works is just crazy. That world is ripe for a movie, right? To build a movie universe around. Borderlands is good, but I don't know.
I think it could be fun. I'm excited by the prospect, but I agree. I think that Eli Roth is a very strange choice for a movie like that.
Yeah, really. I mean, and again, it's a video game movie, so I'm not holding my breath and being super excited about it. I'm not going to get worked up over it until I see the product, right?
Well, they have a lot of really good subplots. Like, that game has so many subplots you could do something with. I just hope that they keep the comical aspect of it, because
they have to. That's what's
dystopian Mad Max sort of movie. If you don't, right?
Exactly. Yeah, the fun Borderlands what sets it apart.
Yeah.
All right, Kirsten, what do we got next?
Oh, sorry, I had put this down to look up some stuff. To no one's surprise, Sonic the Hedgehog is getting a sequel. This week it took the top spot on Watched at Home, top 20, beating Birds of Prey.
Yeah, so Sonic, it's one of those movies where it's like, again, it's a video game movie, but apparently it's really good. Yeah. I have not seen it yet because, again, Sonic is not really my thing.
Yeah.
Right? I was never a Sega guy. But I support it in the fact that they tried to give us something awful. The fans went, no, that is awful. Fix that, and they did. Yeah. Right? They listened to the fans. They apparently it's a very entertaining movie, and so it deserves a sequel. Go for it. The fact that it's the top spot of the most watched list shows you how desperate we are for. Everybody's watching it now.
I feel like I had no interest in it until they went back and fixed it, and then it was like, well, I don't really like I've played Sonic, but it's not something I'm interested in watching. I feel like I should at least watch it to show support that I appreciate that they actually went back and fixed the damage that they had done.
They listen to the fans, yeah.
So I feel like I would be more want to support it by watching it from home versus going out to the movie theaters to support it. So
yeah,
I feel like that's kind of the general consensus too, is like, it's something interesting and I wish to support it probably, but not, go out to the movie theaters to support.
Right. Yeah. I was never going to see it in the theaters.
Yeah.
At home. Okay. Yeah. I'll rent it for a night.
Right.
Yeah. You felt obligated after they fixed it. Exactly. You're like,
I did.
Doug's all like, nope, I never supported it. Video game movies, bah humbug.
Yeah, I never played Sonic the Hedgehog, so
Yeah, I mean, I played it, but it wasn't like it didn't. It wasn't Mario Brothers. All right, so I guess it's me now. Simon Kinberg, writer director of Dark Phoenix and writer of X-Men 3.
who somehow still has a career.
He somehow still has a career. It was recently talking about. He kind of threw his hat in the ring and said it would be exciting to direct an X-Men movie in the MCU. It's like, yeah, I bet it would, but you'll never know what it. I'm like that's ever going to happen. He's like, oh yeah, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring to direct an X-Men movie in the MCU. It's like, really? And with a resume of Dark Phoenix and X-Men 3?
Yeah.
That's your oh my god. Yeah. The fact that he actually had the balls in an interview to say this. It's like, oh yeah, I'd be totally down to direct an X-Men movie in the Marvel Universe. I'm like, yeah, I bet you would.
So would I.
Yeah, no lie.
And probably would make just as good a one as you.
Yeah, I was gonna say you couldn't do much worse. So, yeah, Matt said somebody tossed that hat right back out the window. So I tossed my hat in. He's like, oh no, there you go. So, oh my god, Corbin, are you defending X-Men Last Stand? Really? I will give you this. It was better than Dark Phoenix. But he didn't direct that one. He just wrote it. So, which was the problem with that, is the story. So, man. Yeah, no, I want to see Dark Phoenix done right if they do it, which they probably won't because they got screwed up twice now. So, they're not going back to the well for that one. It's the Batman Forever of the X-Men movies. Fair enough, I guess. All right, well,
He's not wrong.
you're not wrong. I don't know why that was it gave us I'm the Juggernaut bitch. That is true.
That is the one bright spot in that movie. Probably.
It's pretty sad when that's the bright spot of the movie. Is that I'm the Juggernaut bitch. Yeah. And Matt's all like, I tossed my hat in the ring. Somebody picks it up. Sir, I think you dropped this. Put it back on and get out of our office. Sneakily underrated. No, I think it was rated just about right. That's like, it did have Hugh Jackman in it, so that elevates the movie right there.
Yeah.
So, all right.
And it didn't have Cyclops, which elevates it in my eyes.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Doug.
All right, HBO Max will not be launching in the UK for at least 5 years due to pre-existing deals with Sky Atlantic. Nothing much there. Just
5 years though. That's a long time to wait for,
Very long time.
Green Lantern series or anything else. And apparently Marvel or Disney kind of screwed this up for them because Sky Atlantic was acquired by Disney in the whole Fox merger, and then quickly dumped it off on Comcast, and in the switching of this, extended the rights for distribution by the quick switch. So now HBO Max can't, for at least 5 years, can't launch in the UK. So, that's a bummer. Oh well. Have to pirate all those shows.
get a VPN and
Get a VPN, yeah.
Apparently, Netflix and Hulu is getting smarter about that sort of stuff. So,
Yeah.
Oh, about VPNs?
Yeah.
Faking where you're at?
yeah.
I don't know how you do that, but okay.
All right, so on to the last bit here. Doctor Strange's director, Scott Derrickson, is going to helm the 1986 Jim Henson's film, Labyrinth.
The
Maggie
sequel to it.
Levin. Right, sorry, the sequel to it. So Maggie Levin, who's done Into the Dark, and My Valentine will write the script, while the Jim Henson Company's Brian and Lisa Henson will produce it. Derrickson is also executive producing with the frequent collaborator C. Robert Cargill.
Cargill.
I've heard
You know-
that name before.
You know where you've heard Robert Cargill before?
No.
If you're an old nerd like us, and back in the day when Ain't It Cool News was the website to go to for all your comic book movie news, C. Robert Cargill was Massa Worm. So he was one of the main contributors to Ain't It Cool News before Ain't It Cool News fell apart. And he actually did the Warhammer 40K reviews because he played Warhammer 40K.
Okay.
So he reviewed all the new products for that came out for Ain't It Cool News. And then he went on to be a screenwriter with, I think he launched off with like Sinister was his first movie script that he sold. And then he went on from there, and now he's working, in Marvel movies and all kinds of stuff. So he's living the dream. Warhammer 40K nerd, makes it big in Hollywood. So I'm a big fan of Mass Worm or Cargill. So, but anyway, Matt says, "Oh my God, I can't wait not to watch this." Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this too. I mean, obviously, Labyrinth is a classic, but does it need a sequel? I don't know. Yeah, I unless they get Jennifer Connelly back, I'm not interested. That was that was a movie I developed a crush on her, and it's not weird. She's a little girl in that movie because I was a little boy. All right, she's older than I am. So for all you people out there, that's creepy. She's a little girl. Yeah, well, I was a little boy when when it came out, and I had a crush on her, and that crush has lasted till today. So yeah. So if they get Jennifer Connelly back in it, I'm there. I don't care what else they do to it, but I mean, I agree. It doesn't really, doesn't really do anything for me as a sequel. What do you guys think?
Nah.
Have you seen it?
No David Bowie. So
yeah.
how do you do a sequel to this?
Yeah, without David Bowie, come on.
Yeah, and I don't want to see. I can just imagine they'll. Now I can't remember the guy's name. Eddie somebody. British actor. All right, whatever.
I don't know.
To replace him.
Yeah. I don't know, British actors, they live in over there in England, they're living in a stone age. They don't even get HBO Max. So CGI in that bad boy. Do a Tarkin on him. Yeah.
Eddie Izzard.
Eddie Izzard.
Yeah.
Eddie
So
Izzard.
that's who pops out as this is who people would say could fill his shoes, and no, he couldn't. He could not fill Bowie's shoes.
No. I mean, I like Eddie Izzard, but he looks like he ate David Bowie. I mean, he looks.
Has he gained a ton of weight lately?
Well, he's bigger. I mean, he's obviously bigger. David Bowie was skinny, right? He looks like someone stretched out a David Bowie suit and is wearing it. I mean, just my 2 cents. That's my expertise on fat men. So my fat sense is tingling, and it tells me he's a little bit bigger than David Bowie.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Is.
That's true. That is true, especially now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyways, yeah, nope, not interested in seeing this.
No. So I guess Matt was right. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't wait to not watch this. Yeah. Again, if they get Jennifer Connelly in it, I'm there. But other than that, I'm not interested.
If she cameoed.
I'd watch that part.
Yeah.
That part.
Yeah, I'd download that part. But all right. Well, there you go, guys. A bunch of weird directions for Warner Brothers to take DC.
Yeah.
Bunch of weird DC properties.
5 movies today. 5 potential movies coming out. And we poo-pooed all but one of them.
Yeah. We're like, okay, we're going to see one of those.
Like, I want to see this just to, for the fascination of it. Like, how dark could it be?
Yeah, it's morbid curiosity at this point. But But yeah, pretty much. Like, nope, not for me. Not for me. Not for me. Yeah, it's a bunch of weird stuff. So who's making the worst decisions? The DCFU or Spunk?
Spunk. Hands down.
Spunk. Hands down.
They
Spunk.
started with Spunk, and that's enough right
They,
there.
yeah, they started with naming themselves Spunk, and now after that, just downhill. Yeah.
So you've got 4 movies, only one of which has been made. It was better than it should have been, but still not great. Versus a studio that's almost 50-50. So
One good movie away from being 50-50. Oh, there you go.
So
Armando dancing in the background. All right, yeah. All right, fair enough, folks. I guess we'll wrap it up there. Not a whole lot to get excited about this week, except for, I mean, I think the best news we got out of this week is the fact that we're going to get Henry Cavill back as Superman in some capacity.
Yeah.
Starring alongside Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
The Jimmy Olsen sidekick movie. All right, guys. Thanks for listening, guys. Be sure to check out the Absolute Geek podcast coming up here in a half hour or so. If you want to check that out. Someone asked me about finding a link to that. I keep shouting them out. Like, where's that? There. Well, on our main page, there's a link directly to their site. So, or you can just type in Absolute Geek Podcast and Armando's. So yeah, be sure to check them out. This is now my new favorite podcast. Thanks. Thanks, man. Yeah, so be sure to check those guys out. If you're listening to us on Spotify or iTunes and you want to see our lovely faces, you can check us out on youtube.com/The Grizzled Geek, where we see all of our podcast filmed there, plus some other stuff.
For some facts.
For some facts, yes.
Few. Not many, but some.
Oh, I'm telling you, we got one thing wrong last time. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Be sure to check us out. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. And for as little as $1 a month, you can feed this group of people here.
We can all share a McDouble.
A McDouble. Won't you buy us a McDouble? Please check out our Patreon. All right, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.